We are here today to share great community information because I feel it's very important to share what it's really like to live in our local community. Hi, I'm Judy Weiniger and I'm local resident of Warren and broker owner of Weiniger Real Estate Firm. Today I'm so excited because Elizabeth Jewett, superintendent of Watchung Hills Regional High School, has agreed to sit down to talk to us about what it's really like inside the four walls of Watchung Hills Regional High School. Welcome, Elizabeth, and thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me.
This is such a conversation that I've wanted to have for so long because being in real estate, there are two questions I get asked all the time. Number one is, how's the market? And number two, you can guess, it's how's the schools? Today, people are so interested in a quick answer. What are the rankings? Where do they fit in SAT scores? I would love to share more the inner insights of what goes on at Watchung Hills that make it more of the real heartbeat of the school.
So we certainly make sure that we are aware of the rankings and keep track of them. And it's similar to all of the various indicators from AP performance to SAT scores, which a number of the rankings take into account. And we look at each of the rankings and the metrics that they use to see if those metrics are aligned with the goals that we have set as a district. We've done very well. The New Jersey monthly ranking, we moved from number 50 to number 11.
And what was that specific? I'd love to know. Like, what was the big difference in your eyes?
So
made that
I think it was really getting the staff and the students to come together and realize that there was more they could do to reach their full potential. We have a great community. I feel very lucky to work in such a supportive community where they really do consider the school the centerpiece. So we have great students. We have very supportive parents. We have a very supportive community that doesn't necessarily have students in the school, but that are supportive of the high school. And we have a world-class teaching staff. So we have all of the ingredients, and it's our job as the administration and the board to give them the support they need to go to that next level. And I presented them with a challenge when I came into the district 5 years ago to increase opportunities for all students. And what really is nice about Watchung Hills is because we are large, we have the resources to help each student really find their passion because we can provide a lot of offerings that smaller schools cannot. Everything from robotics to our various musical ensembles, to the arts programs we have, to the athletic programs we offer. And and if there's not a club that exists that you're interested in, students propose clubs all the time and new clubs start as a result of that. So I always talk about trying to make a larger district feel smaller by providing that niche for every student to really feel that they belong.
That makes a lot of sense. Just to step back for a minute, can you share with us the local towns that are part of Watchung Hills?
Sure. So we have Warren, Watchung, Long Hill, and Greenbrook. So all four of those towns have K-8 districts that send to the high school.
I mean, your program is really second to none, and PAC Performing Arts Center is relatively new, state-of-the-art.
It's a beautiful facility, and a lot of outside organizations utilize that facility as well. So it really is a community facility.
I didn't know that. That's wonderful. Is there some things that you brought on, or not even you, just that you saw just explode in popularity and just feel like that's Watchung Hills?
So if somebody were to ask me what it is that makes Watchung Hills special, I would say without a doubt the actual community of people in terms of the students and staff, because they are what have driven a lot of the new fresh ideas and initiatives that have come to the district. Coding you read about all the time.
Yes.
And we had several weeks ago on a Sunday, we had about 80 students in our PAC for our hackathon event that was completely student organized and student run with help obviously from a number of our administrators. But to be standing there on a Sunday realizing that students are in our school voluntarily on a Sunday, it was a great event, and those students are also planning our second annual TEDx youth event at the end of the school year.
That sounds interesting. What is that? We all know what TED Talks are.
Exactly. So there is a youth version of that. TEDx is the unofficial, TED Talk event. Yes. Yeah. And so our students did their first TEDx youth event last year, where they had were current students, some were alums, some were adults that they had come and do TED Talks, and they're doing their second annual event of that this year as well.
I mean, I can feel like the energy of the students who are the ones, whose brainchild it is, and you guys are seeing it through with your support.
Last year, the school musical was Beauty and the Beast. And that was a wonderful example of 5 or 6 different departments in the school coming together, teachers and students, because we had, in addition to the drama and the music departments, who obviously put on the show, we had our graphic design students work on the publicity for the show. We had our culinary arts students work on food for a breakfast with Belle and the Beast. We had our accounting club who did all of the marketing for it. Wow. So it was just such a phenomenal team effort. And what ended up resulting from that as well was it expanded the audience for the show because there were so many more students involved.
Yes.
That they
created
hit
more
interest.
interest.
Exactly. And that's something else that all schools are looking at is how to bring that relevance to what we're teaching in the classroom. And I mentioned our culinary arts program. That is certainly a program that I think makes our school unique. It's our most popular program in the high school. Wow. And it attracts students from all varied levels of interest because it's such a unique program and it's such a unique break from their typical course load. Yep. That we really wanted to maintain that program if we could, and now we're looking to expand it.
What strikes me is the diversity of those kind of classes, where I think what happens in high schools, if you're on a certain track, let's say you're on a math track or a literary track, history track, you see the same students maybe over and over again. What's so interesting about this kind of program in culinary arts and maybe these business classes is that kids can meet other children or young adults that are maybe a little different from them and what they're studying. And again, I just think that's the holistic approach, right, to school and life.
That is certainly another bright spot of the district is our special services offerings. It's a really very inclusive environment in the school, and we are able to offer programs for our students with special needs within the high school so that we are able to meet their needs there and they can still benefit from all of our other offerings instead of having to go off-site somewhere else to meet their needs.
How do you feel the district is doing on a technology standpoint?
One thing I can tell you is we've become smarter in terms of realizing that we need to utilize the students' knowledge with regard to that because they are able to educate the adults in a lot of cases. Our staff has really embraced the integration of technology into their classes. What we've really tried to focus on is using it to enhance learning, not just to replace ways that we used to teach things. So now that it's on a smart board instead of on a board.
Right? I
exactly.
mean, visual learners, auditory learners.
So really using it as a tool to help the students learn better and to present different material, not just the same material in a different way. That does have its purpose. But it's a very expensive investment to just be able to use a screen instead of a board. So several years ago, we started implementing use of the Google set of applications. And we are pretty much at 100% implementation across our teaching staff of Google Classroom. The students have found that to be and the teachers have found it to be a great collaborative tool. One of the benefits of using the various Google apps is instantaneous feedback to students and their ability to collaborate. So that has been widespread, and we are also currently piloting a one-to-one Chromebook rollout with our freshman class this year. So we are about 6 months into it. Most of our students today are used to learning on a screen, looking at a screen. Yes. That's just become the way that they've adapted to learning. So we use them to increase collaboration. There's a number of apps that our different departments utilize on the Chromebooks, and that's something right now what we're doing is we're evaluating how the pilot has gone. It's not that we're expecting students to be using them every second of every period. That's not the purpose of technology, but if it's helping to enhance learning, then it's certainly a worthy investment.
Absolutely. Talking all this through with you right now, I mean, I think it would be clear to anyone listening or watching today to understand why seeing a ranking number or getting, just one metric, how it's impossible to know what's going on inside the schools.
There is something for you at Watchung Hills. You just have to figure out, for yourself, what is it that I want to try. We try to balance out, the rigor, our push for academic rigor and achievement with wellness. One of our strategic plan goals centers all around wellness with regards to students and staff. And so, that's been a very relevant topic, and we've been doing a number of parent and student programs around that. We actually have a page on our website called The Healthy Edge, and we have a wellness committee that meets and develops different programs. And again, they're really twofold. Some of them are for student education and some of them are for parent education. What additional supports can we provide to our parents to help their students? We really are trying to make an effort to help students find a healthy balance between.
That sounds amazing to me.
It's a heavy lift, and again, we're very
it's a
lucky to
lot
have parent
bringing-
support.
Yeah, bringing that into the school on top of everything else you and the teachers have to do, but really is the whole child and all of this. I mean, how good are we if we aren't healthy physically, emotionally? I mean, I see so many wonderful changes since you've begun as superintendent personally, and I think the energy and the positivity that you bring and the openness is a big change for our school, and so I'm very grateful to you for that. Moving forward into the next 5 years or few years, what do you hope? What is your hope for the district and hope for the school as you move forward? Just to continue the plan, basically, on where you are. You like the trajectory on where you're headed?
I'm very fortunate to work within the school community that I do, between the board, the administrative team, the teachers, and the students. Everyone really has a shared goal of wanting to move the district forward. So, what I would like to see as we move forward is to really continue that collaborative work, and I think getting our students even more involved in taking ownership of some of these initiatives, because the work that they've done with some of the events that they've planned is just so creative and really I think is for them as well, shows them that they have the capability to
they
do
really
it.
have no limits. These kids are so smart and so innovative. You're right, giving them that power to be the decision maker on some of these ideas.
So I think,
wonderful idea.
And I guess my ultimate goal are all of these processes that we're putting in place, that they become systemic, so that it doesn't matter if I'm there or if somebody else is there, that all of these things we've just talked about, the focus on wellness, the focus on academic rigor, and the fact that we really do want to include all students and really instill in them an awareness that they are capable of just about anything and of taking advantage of any of these opportunities. I really, my ultimate goal is for that to become systemic.
Well, that's amazing. I'm just feeling very excited just hearing you talk about it. And I'm committed to try to help spread the word, because I don't think there's enough good information getting out on what exactly you're doing. So that's the goal for today, and I really appreciate you coming today and sharing all of these great insights for people who want to know more than just a number. So I'm very grateful to you. Thank you so much.